So for those of you that are familiar with dry bean production, a big problem with production is conventional harvest methods, and it takes a lot of time out in the field to harvest dry beans. It takes multiple passes where the beans are knifed out of the ground and laid into windrows to dry. And so this is a slow and cumbersome process, and there's always risk of shattering your beans or getting them blown away. So with all these issues, a lot of people are interested in direct harvest. They can harvest their beans in one pass with the combine, leave some intact stubble and residue on the soil surface for the winter. And the biggest issue that's holding up adoption of direct harvest practices is the amount of harvest loss sustained when these methods are used. And the way a dry bean plant matures is that the pod hangs down really close to the soil surface. So there's been some various efforts to grow dry beans that are taller and set a pod higher up so that they're easier to direct harvest and get the beans into the combine. So my project involves no-tilling dry beans into wheat stubble on a 10-inch row spacing, and the different treatments involve a shorter wheat stubble at 7.5 inches, a medium height wheat stubble at 10 inches, and a 14-inch tall wheat stubble height. And by using those various treatments, we're trying to see if the beans respond by growing taller to having altered light quality throughout the year. So a higher wheat stubble is going to block more light from the developing bean and hopefully trigger a response for the bean to grow taller. So last summer throughout the season we were monitoring total plant height and bean pod height off the ground. And the results are in the field day book more specifically, but throughout last summer we did have a significant effect on growing a taller bean on the taller wheat stubble treatments and a shorter bean on lower wheat stubble treatments as we expected to see. Then at harvest time, most importantly, we got our highest yields off the shortest wheat stubble and our lowest yield off the high wheat stubble. And there wasn't a large effect on harvest loss. The harvest loss was relatively the same throughout the different treatments, but high yielding off lower stubble height. So this study's in the field again over this summer, and we're taking a lot of data, and we're really interested to see if we're going to have some differences in harvest losses at the end of this growing season. And there's also some small plots of this research here at SAREC. The main large plots are by Pine Bluffs, but if anybody's interested in taking a look at those small plots, I'll be around today, and I don't know if they're on the tour stop, but they're out on the farm.